How many of you guys like to get up super early in the morning and head to the boat ramp? That way you can be out on your kayak when the sun comes up and be ready for that top water bite. That is my favorite time to fish. If I could choose any time of day to fish, it is right at sunrise, being on the water with a top water bait in my hand. I love being out there. The downside to that is I usually end up at the top of a boat ramp somewhere in the dark before the sun comes up, trying to rig my kayak, getting everything loaded and hooked up on it so I can get out on the water. Most of the boat ramps I go to around here, there are 0 street lights in the parking lot, so I usually have to have a headlamp on my head, which 90% of the time I forget and leave it here, so I'm down to just holding a flashlight, and you can usually see me at the top of a boat ramp in the dark with a flashlight in one hand, trying to get all of my stuff rigged up on my kayak. Today I'm going to try to fix that. I got these Prinsu LED camp lights from CBI Off-Road, and they are designed to mount into the rack on my Tacoma. They're hidden during the day, so you won't see them. They're not going to be these big gaudy lights hanging off the side of my truck. They're kind of designed to hide into the rail, but at night they are going to be super bright. I got 4 of these, so I'm going to be able to flip a switch on, light up the entire area around my truck. So these early mornings when I'm out there trying to get all my gear loaded up on the kayaks and get ready to get out there and catch some fish, I'll be able to see what I'm doing, get out there that much quicker, and then have some sort of peace of mind that I'm gonna be able to know that I'm not leaving anything in the truck or anything like that. So that is gonna be this week's video. I'm gonna run some wires. We're gonna get these things installed today and then go test them out. Y'all stick around. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, my name's TJ. Welcome to Kayak USA. So today, yeah, it's gonna be a different style video. I'm gonna be working on my truck a little bit, but it is gonna help me in the long run where, like I said a while ago, I'll be able to rig up in the dark. I'll be able to find all my gear, make sure I don't leave anything behind. Or I've actually gotten on my kayak before and left rods propped up against my truck and got out on the water and realized that I didn't have all my rods, and I get all the way back and there they are in the dark, just sitting out there for anybody to grab. So that's not gonna happen anymore because I'm gonna be able to see everything and know that I get everything loaded up on the kayak. But that is gonna be this week's video. It's gonna be kind of a different video than usual. I'm gonna show you guys everything that I'm using today. Now, these lights that I'm using, they are from CBI Off-Road. They are Prinsu lights, and they are designed to go into the handles, and I'm gonna show you in a minute. They mount in the handles, but you can definitely use these on your truck without having to have that rack. Like if you don't have these handles, these are a really thin design. They're slim. They've got 2 holes on each side, so you could clearly mount these just about anywhere you wanted to, really. They're waterproof. They're made to be outside. They're made to be mounted on top of a truck, so they're really good, and they're also super bright. I'll show you in just a minute. I've got one hooked up to my Dakota lithium power box over here. But everything else you see in today's video, if you're gonna do a project like this and you see something here, I'll have it linked below. Most of this stuff, or actually all of this stuff that I'm gonna be using, come from Amazon besides the lights here from CBI. But the only downfall with getting these off CBI is they just come with the 4 lights, just like this. It's just a light with a pigtail with a red and a black wire. You have to kind of get everything else. So everything else you see, like I said, come from Amazon. I ordered a bunch of wire. I ordered some waterproof connectors. I got some heat shrink. I've got a switch that fits in my Tacoma that I'll be able to operate these lights from the inside of my cab, and a few other odd and end things that I'll show you. And everything, like I said, come from Amazon. But I'm gonna walk around, give you the game plan with the camera real quick, show you the top of my truck and where these are gonna mount, and then I'm just gonna do it. And then after I get them all installed, hopefully it'll be dark outside by then, I'm sure, and we'll be able to go out there and hit the button and really light up around the truck and see how good they do. So let me show you everything I got. So I think I've got everything that I'm gonna need. Here are the Prinsu lights up close. They're super thin. They come with just a pigtail, and this is all you get. You get 4 of these, and that is it. You don't get a switch, you don't get wires or relay, anything like that. It's just the lights. So keep that in mind. If you're ordering these and you think that you're gonna get a full kit, you're not. It is literally just the 4 lights. But I've already got started on a couple of these, and what I'm doing is I got these waterproof connectors from Amazon, and there's no way I'm gonna be able to open one of these with one hand. Oh, maybe I can. Yep, I did it. So these are waterproof connectors, red and black. I got the same gauge as the wires, so I know it's gonna work. Over here's the female end, you got the male end, and what I'm doing is I'm installing these on the pigtails of my lights. And I'm doing it with these. I'm trying these out for the first time. I usually do crimp, but I found these on Amazon, and you don't crimp these. It's got solder in the inside, and you'll see in a minute when I do the other two, I'll show you that you just heat it up, and it heat shrinks at the same time, but it also melts that solder, and it kind of just it bonds the wires together. So I'm gonna be using those today. They're pretty good. They're from Amazon. Everything's from Amazon, like I said. I got these inline fuses, so this is how we're gonna hook it up in the truck. This will pop into an existing fuse, probably one of my other ones, my other lights that I have in there. And then it's got its own separate fuse that'll go up to those, so I will have it on a fuse. Here's the switch that I found on Amazon for my Tacoma. It says rear lights, but I couldn't find one that said Camp Lights, so this is gonna have to do. I've got an available slot for it, and I think this was only like 10 bucks or something. So we'll be able to get that wired up. What else? I got me 30 foot of wire, and I think this is gonna be enough, but this is a solid black wire. It's designed to be outside, but on the inside, I think this is two 18 gauge wires. One red, one black. Everything should be the same size. I've got a roll of heat shrink, and you can kind of see the way I'm doing it. Here's one right here. I got my connector on. I've got two pieces of heat shrink up under this heat shrink. So I use the connector on each side, one on the red, one on the black. Then I slide a piece of heat shrink over that single time, one red, one black, heat it up, and then I've got one big one that I slide over, and then I heat it up. So these things are very well insulated, and that is waterproof. It's not gonna get any better than that. And I'll show you really quick how bright these are. I've got them hooked up to my little Dakota lithium power box. This is what I use for my cell phone and my all-day power on my kayak. But you flip this switch, and look at that. This is just one light. I'm only gonna use the camera to look at it because I'll go blind if I look at it without using the camera, but that is super bright, guys. I'm gonna have 4 of these around my truck. And I'll show you really quick. I kind of drew a diagram. I am an artist. I told you guys the last time I drew on the whiteboard how good I am. But this is how I'm gonna do it. So if you can't tell, this is my truck, and this is the roof of my truck. And here are my handles. I got one here above the driver's door, one above the passenger door, and then I got 2 more back here. And the goal is to be able to jump these from one to the other, but I also want to be able to disconnect them, and I also want to be able to, I want to be able to disconnect each light using those waterproof connectors. So if one goes bad, I don't have to cut a wire. And I want to be able to disconnect my back cab, or I want to be able to separate my cab from my bed. So if I do want to take my camper shell off one day, I don't have to splice or cut any wires right here. So I want to have a plug here, a plug here, a plug here, a plug here, and a plug here. And then the wires will run down my window just like my other light bar. I got a light bar here. They run down this side. I'm gonna take these wires down this side. It's gonna be hidden in my windshield frame, and then it'll go down into the hood, of course, and then we'll tie it into the fuse box. But I'll show you the truck. I got it, it's barely in here. I got it parked over here where I usually work on the kayak, so I got a limited space to work with, but here is the roof of my truck. And look at that, I drew that exactly like this looks. Hold on. Come on, does that not, that's it right there. It's like I took a picture. But anyway, here are my handles. I got a handle here. Let's see, it's hard to tell on camera. Yeah, there's a handle right there. So when I need to climb up here, I've got one mounted there, one over there, and then one here, and then one back there. So my plan is I want to use as little wire as possible. So I'm gonna start here, put the light in. I'm gonna run me a strip of wire that'll be zip tied, or I'll have it hid in that T-track that goes across. Then I'll have it plug up to there with another wire that's gonna come up here to my cab. Then we'll have it stop with a plug. Then we'll have that plug go over to this light. And then this light will have a wire that goes straight across to this light. And they're all gonna tie right here and then go down into the hood. That is the plan anyway. And then on the inside, I've already got one switch that I put in on a video a long time ago. It's actually on my channel if you're interested, but I installed my light bar. As you can see, it's an amber one. It's that one right there. And I installed these rock lights, and they're super bright too. I got one on each side. But that left me with this old ditch light switch that I didn't ever use. So I'm just gonna take this ditch light switch out and I'm gonna put my new switch in because, you know, I'd rather it say rear lights than ditch light, but since I went the route with the double right here, I've got this extra space that I'm gonna be able to use for this new one. So, man, I gotta clean my truck out. That is filthy. But yeah, let's get to it, guys. I want to get this done today so that I got these for this weekend. And I want to get it done before dark so we can go out there in this video and test it out. So I'm going to get to it. I'm going to set up a camera, just kind of do I guess maybe a little bit of music over the footage. Let me set y'all back up while I'm talking. I want to just get this done. I've already got two lights wired in, but I've got to cut all of this wire. I want to do as little as possible. So I'm going to, that's the route that I think is going to work the best for this situation. So now I just got to put all my female ends on my black wire, cut it to length, get everything hooked up, zip tied, and then we'll be good to go. Then we can move into the cab and I can figure out how to wire up this switch again because it's been a while since I wired one of these into the truck. I think it's actually been over a year since we installed that those CBI off-road lights in that top light bar. So anyway, let's get to it. I'm gonna set the camera up, throw on some cheesy music, and we can start wiring this stuff up. So I was able to finish the installation yesterday and I got the harness made, got all the wires ran as you've seen in the video there, got everything hooked up, but I spent most of last night out here hiding the wires and the connectors and stuff like that. I'm real picky about stuff like that. So from a top view, you don't see the wires, you don't see the connectors, everything is kind of hidden. These lights, like I mentioned earlier, they're super stealth looking. You don't even know they're there during the day, but at night you can definitely tell they're there. I know in the clip that you just seen, you could kind of tell how bright they were, but the sun was still up in that clip. So what I'm fixing to do real quick, I'm gonna cut all the lights off here in the garage and flip these bad boys on and show you how bright they actually are. They are super bright. I actually went fishing this morning. That's why everything is kind of shifted around now in the garage. I took the kayaks out this morning, ended up getting there after the sun was up, so I wanted to get some footage of these lights at the boat ramp like I wanted to, you know, that's the whole purpose I'm putting them on this truck. And I didn't get there in time, the sun was up. So anyway, we're gonna cut the lights out here in the garage right now and I'm gonna kick these on. I'm gonna give you guys a walk around, show you how I hid the wires and the T-tracks and stuff, but I can't wait for you guys to see how bright they actually are and how far these lights reach out in this garage. So let's turn the lights out and I'm gonna show you real quick. All right, so this is just the camp lights. Let me get the where you can see. Look how bright this is on the kayak trailer. And I don't have anything on this side of my garage, so you can kind of see how far the throw is. Look at that. That is all lit up from just these two hidden camp lights on the side of my truck. It literally lights up the entire half of the garage over here. The whole wall's lit up. I mean, if there was a boat here, you could clearly rig a boat right there with no problem at all. Over here's the same way. If I'm out here in the morning at a boat ramp and I need to rig up, look at this. It just lights everything up completely. How cool is that? All of that is from just those two little Prinsu LED camp lights. So if you guys are interested in these lights, or even my cab rack, my topper rack, I got all of that from CBI Off-Road. They're called the Prinsu rack. And I've been affiliated with these guys for years now. I'm gonna link a promo code in the video description if you wanna go to their website. Just use that link below, go get what you want, throw in my promo code. I think it saves like 10% at checkout if you wanted to go that route. But these lights are awesome. I'm gonna get a lot of use out of these. I love the stealth look. I think that's my favorite part of them, is they're kind of blended in and hidden, and you can't tell I got some lights on the side of my truck. But I really, really like these things. And y'all stay tuned. If you're still watching, I want to give you guys an update on this double kayak trailer really quick. If you've been following along, you know that I built this trailer a couple of weeks ago, and I had planned on this winter going back to it and adding a second tier with some lights and some storage and stuff like that. I've been drawing up those plans already, so I may jump on that build even sooner. So if you're not subscribed and you want to see me finish out this build, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys are liking my videos to try to pump them up in the algorithm. I really appreciate all of that support. If you want to support me even more, you can hit that join button that's right up under this video and join and become a member of the Yak Squad. That is my followers here on YouTube. Follow me over on Instagram at Kayak USA, and on Facebook. You can find me there. And yeah, so we're gonna get back to these builds, get back to these DIY projects, and do some fishing this week. I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.